95.3 FM. It's Hallelujah 95.3.
Go ahead on and tag and share. Let's get everybody in for Wake Up Wednesday. Let's get everybody in. If you can hear me, go ahead on and put some hearts on that screen. If you can hear me, put some hearts on that screen. Want to say good afternoon and once again, welcome to a wonderful Wake Up Wednesday. Listen, I'm blessed and glad to be here today. Really wasn't feeling as well as I thought, and I decided that I was going to push my way into the studio and I was going to share some good gospel music, minister a word. But guess what? I have a surprise guest that's going to be joining me in just a few minutes. So I want you to go ahead on tag and share. I want to say good afternoon to you, Pamela Simmons. God bless you. I want to say to those of you that are out there, I want you to please, we hear that we're decreasing in numbers, but still let's be safe and let's do the necessary things that we need to do to make sure that we are staying protected. Listen, I want to invite to the conversation today. I'm diving right into it because I was able to catch him for a few minutes and I was at the county commission meeting on last night. So I am diving right into this conversation. Joining me, he is the chairman for the Leon County Commissions, none other than County Commissioner Chairperson, Commissioner Bill Proctor. How are you, sir?
James, I'm doing real good. I thank you for allowing me to join with you on Wake Up this afternoon, and I'm telling you, we're totally woke and interested to be engaged with you this afternoon.
Well, you know, I am certainly glad that our moments crossed, and believe it or not, I really didn't have the energy today to come to the station. So I was going to be at home because I've been at home all day. And something just said, well, push your way, push your way. And I said, well, okay, if I'm going to push my way, I really don't have a show plan. I'm going to probably play a sermon, play some music. And it, as God would have it, you know, you were in the midst of a major conversation and I invited you to join us and you got a few minutes to join. So let's talk about, first of all, first of all, I want to thank you for your commitment along with the county to be a sponsor for our Tallahassee Leadership Prayer Breakfast. And with the increase in COVID, we had to postpone. You were very instrumental in making sure that we did the right thing to ensure safety for the gathering. So it's an amazing event. You've been a part of it for year after year, and we're just now waiting for a new date.
Absolutely. Well, we're certainly told this community that recognizes comprehensively government has a role, education has a role, certainly there's a role for the church, and there's a role for prayer. And the institution of government, we recognize that we certainly don't have all the answers, but God does. So we're not too ashamed, we're not too proud to recognize one convene prayer warriors as you can. We know brand quality, you want to be a full and packed, sold out house, and wherever one or two are gathered, two or more gathered, their God will be released. We certainly have been through the Delta variant, Omicron variant, and other challenges which if you ever needed the Lord before, show you need him now. So it's with our heart, our
Amen. And certainly we're thankful for your support. We're thankful for all of the support that has been given the city and the county in their efforts. Let's talk a little bit about basically. I had an opportunity to attend on last evening, and one of the hot topics was this ordinance when it comes to homelessness and what's going on in our community. We also understand that you made it a very profound statement concerning the jail, how it's being overcrowded. Let's kind of give our listeners a little bit of insight on what we're dealing with, because I mean there was some concerns last night that we're not. I mean that the board was not doing the necessary things when it came to homelessness. And let's talk about that, because it's a big issue in our community, and it was a big issue that you all discussed on last evening.
Well, thank you. It was big, and I'll try chronologically to start from a timeline and kind of recent. I believe that the emergence of homelessness uh, after we had the variant break, had COVID-19, the homeless shelter could no longer put in their building, but they decided was to go to a different model, and they rented hotel spaces, and they tried to limit, tried to make sure there was enough space with regard to the COVID-19. Kearney Center did a tremendous job. The Kearney Center allows for people without shelter to hold them for a given time. Yet, when the virus began to die down a little bit, people were still somewhat scattered. All of these things. What we have is we had a very passionate talk, I think in December, about homelessness and some of the behavior patterns. Now, I know this is a Christian nation. I will not be blanking out, but word that people were taking care of their business on the sidewalk, were handling their business on like in public, and defecating, urinating in public places.
Mm-hmm.
Some odors becoming mindful, the emergence of people out there in the Kearney area, in the Pensacola Street corridor, were always walking, drifting north Monroe Street area, out on the Capitol Circle area, Mahan Drive area. There are new, almost colonies of homeless people live in the woods, live in the shadows of life. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of makes me think of when you said you were pressing on, made me think of the woman with the issue of blood. Just
Absolutely.
that testimony, press on anyway. And when you think about homeless people, you think of the lepers who live outside the village, outside the gate, and they have been inside, out of the mainstream. So the passions were running high with respect to our community getting out of hand. Too many folks propping up. You think about crime. You think about changes in ambiance of the community. You think about fear. People are afraid of vagrants who have nowhere to go. It just creates generates a kind of atmosphere most people. So when you have that kind of thing, the county was came up with someone, I can't remember, but we want to say, does law enforcement have enough tools in the box to handle homeless? So we looked at an ordinance, brought back the county commission to consider whether or not to give the sheriff, the city, more to arrest, urinating, investigating, public disorder, disorderly conduct, all of those things. At the end of the day on yesterday, we had been counseled by Sheriff Faulkner Mills. He felt that kind of overdoing it, that we should wait to give him at least 6 months to employ people from his work specifically with homeless men, trying to resolve. Now, this is the sheriff. You got to give kudos to Walter Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff McNeil, this is not law enforcement. He's a man smart enough who was social work from law enforcement. He did not want the county commission to overuse major bullet and to think the law makes people whose only crime in life is being poor, without shelter.
Mm.
Gospel station. This is gospel station. And we put that ordinance in place. I'm not saying Jesus was in disorderly, urinating somewhere, but the Lord himself was homeless. So I recall him saying,
Yes, sir.
have hold.
But the Son of Man,
The Son of Man have left
nowhere.
to lay my head. So we're talking about what we would have done to the Son of God and did in Tallahassee. So we want to slow it down, voted against placing an ordinance in place last night, and wanted to let the sheriff go through two people that used to hire, work directly with homelessness. Sheriff is a criminal matter. So the logical matter have not wherewithal to find housing of sustainment. Secondly, we have to recognize, honest about it, that a lot of people have mental illness and sad that we are a community. But the first base for mental services for many people is at the jail.
Mm.
If you don't get up in the jail, you ain't gonna get no help. That's the problem. And once you come out of jail, you still ain't gonna get help. So it's an indictment on our community to say, what is our responsibility? Am I my brother's keeper? And we're able to think and reason through it once the passions of levels of calm return. Say, no, it's not a permanent thing. People have nowhere to go. They did. I'm of the belief that everybody that eats normal people, we all take care of business, but most of us not on the street and all of that. So it's not a lot of people's fault that they find themselves structured out of life opportunity, structured outside the office safety, structured outside of society's willingness to pass sometimes to yield, to bend, to let, to make room.
Mm-hmm.
To make room in the end of life. And to make room in the end, to allow for jobs, to make room in the end to inform you about good opportunities to prepare their hands, their minds, their to be of value. And there's basically tell the truth, shame the devil. We're not doing our part to make room in the end for homeless person, even for affordable housing is failed, collectively failed, keeping housing affordable. But it's not only in Tallahassee, affordable housing has become a thing of the past across our nation. And we're not, we are responsible for where we live, but marketing is driving the train at a pace so fast that ordinary folks, literally some neighborhoods cannot afford to live in neighborhoods anymore. Prices of homes, prices of housing, inflation, all of that is going up. So if you're homeless, it means you don't have a roof over your head. Cost sometimes taxes why you don't have it. And I'm well pleased that the board, and you alluded to another point that I mentioned last night. That is the fact that jail issue came that if we load up an ordinance, give the police more options to arrest people on simple, nebulous things because they use the bathroom. You could get 6 months on or a $500 fine.
Right.
Using the bathroom. Babies use the bathroom every day. Older folks, you get too old, they grown, but people have to wear the pants because they use the bathroom. Okay? So everybody got conditions. But you don't have to go to jail because you use the bathroom for 6 months. That's what we had loaded up, bro. So stay time for a person in jail in our community is $262. And where I'm going at is that state attorney has, to my information and understanding, 82% of 1,175 people in jail as of today's vote yesterday. 1,175 in our jail holds 1,200. But we have leased space for our incarcerated persons in Monticello. We're leasing jail space from Wakulla, and we're negotiating to lease jail space in Walton County. That's because we're at capacity.
Wow.
So we're already at capacity, and the average stay is 262 days and $96 a night. That comes to $25,000 and some change, or $26,000 and some change with every person out there. This is still called benefit analysis. If we're going to do this, we're talking about $29 million, $30 million per year for all the people in jail at an average of 262 days. Now, the problem that I have is the public defender not getting people out of jail. And the court bending over to let people go. You know, during the COVID, we really had interest. We had great expression from the court to get people out. The state attorney has shown interest in getting people out. And there's a whole new spirit, there's a whole new humaneness, if you will, trying to not look at people as criminals, but see them as people who potentially could gain, catch a deadly disease and kill anybody. So I give kudos to Jack Campbell, our state attorney, because his office is making plea offers with folks. Question is, our public defender, public safety coordinating council, which I chair, told us last Tuesday that she's saying that 90% of the persons who are detainees, 90% saying they don't let the states offer. I disbelieve her. Personally, I can't believe that 90% of the people in our detention facility desire not to get out of jail, and that they're being that choice, that picky, that spoiled, all of those words, because she said it's not a reasonable offer. I don't care who you is, and anything looks like reason to get out of jail.
Right, absolutely.
She can't sit there and cherry pick according to her standards what she wants. Give those men and women a chance to say yes or no. Show them the offer. Go out there and do your job. If they want to get out on honorary terms that don't make sense, everything that's unreasonable to you may not be unreasonable to the man who's tired of being in there. And I just simply cannot accept. I do not believe. You have to do a survey and show me. And I have to walk through there and hear these men say, Rocky, I don't want to go home. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go home. So if the state is making an offer, this is something that the former state attorney Willie Beggs would never have been guilty of, is offering an 82% plea offer to help get people out of jail. Let's just settle it. So if I can't get the people, Pastor James, if I can't get the people out of jail and stuck out there, and offer sitting on the table, why am I going to vote? Why should the county vote to arm up, get a police, more options, arrest more people who ain't going to get out of jail? And you can't book them out there. I mean, we can book them there, but we'll have to take somebody over to Walton County. We'll have to take them down to Monticello. We'll have to go over to Wakulla. This is crazy.
And with that,
doing that much for criminal activity other than being vagrants at home.
so with that being said, I mean, we know that our sheriff is concerned about the overcrowdedness of our local jails, and now we're having to contract out with other jail facilities. So the homeless issue will only add more to one, paying additional costs for a person to be housed and paying for space for them to be housed.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. That's absolutely it. And is this due cost benefit? Do we really care? somebody urinated on the sidewalk of Thomasville Road, let's just say up by maybe Pristine Child High School, or one of those pristine areas, homeless people in that area too. Does the community really want to possibly spend 200, I'm sorry, to pay for 262 bed nights for somebody who all they did was urinate? That means cost the taxpayer $25,000 for somebody to eat. That's what we asked for. That's what we're talking about. That's a very expensive need. That's very highly expensive, bro. That's high. For what somebody done. I don't want to pay that for nobody that all they did was defecate or urinate. Not 25,000. That's what the taxpayer burden would be.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this, because like we say, the homelessness has been an issue. And I'm sure that you mentioned last evening that there has been a lot being done and have been done to help facilitate some of the mental health needs that are dealing with homelessness. And the county is at the forefront of that.
Well, the sheriff's office by law has to by law. And I'm not saying that sheriff gets the shiny A plus because he's doing more than anybody else in the public domain. I'm just saying that a third of the population there is on psychotropic medications or medications for psychological or emotional or mental disorders needs. So half of that is the history of more than 300 psychotropic med inmates indicate that people is dealing with a lot more mental health issues. When you get into mental health issues, questions of criminal intent, these people have a reckless mindset. Criminal. So sometimes the criminal, you have to prove intent. Their intent. They may not have been intended that they just let it up and did something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Let it up and did something against the law. They didn't know the law from not the law. But in their capacity as human beings, God don't allow, give everybody the equal capacity. Our elevators don't all go to the same levels and height. And sometimes our elevators skip a floor. And that's how people are wired. And that's not necessarily criminal, it's mental disability. Negotiate all of these rules that life imposes upon us. Everybody don't process it the same and all of that. So Sheriff McNeil does get an A plus in this category. He understands that. Everybody ain't like the same. Sheriff McNeil gets an A plus. Understanding that while people's behavior could be justifiably argued, it was illegal, but he also knows that people don't have the capacity to know what they've done was legal or not legal, and may not even know
Mm-hmm.
word legal versus illegal means. I don't register to that.
Right.
Don't walk in Tennessee Street. And the person walks in the middle of Tennessee Street. Did you know it's illegal to walk in Tennessee Street? Aside, it's also dangerous to walk in Tennessee Street. They may not get the fact that it's dangerous to walk in Tennessee Street, or that it's even illegal to walk out in the middle of Tennessee Street. But they get arrested, and still unbeknownst to them, they don't know what they done. They don't have no clue. So our sheriff is sensitive to note that we cannot arrest everybody in Tallahassee that needs help. We're not able to arrest people and let taxpayers pay for folks in this way. So the big question is, how do we get in front of a lot of issues? If you got a third of your jail out there who got mental issues, that means that's potentially a third of the folks don't even understand what they out there for.
Right. Yeah.
You talking about they got a mental illness, but I'll say to you and I, that's crazy. And I don't know how much of that crazy belongs to us, and our share of that's crazy versus it belongs to others, to them. But we have failed collectively. We have failed as a county commission. We have failed as a city commission. We have failed as a Florida legislature. We have failed as the governor of Florida. We have failed as the cabinet of Florida. We have failed as every possible so-called responsible entity and agency of government.
Mm-hmm.
We have filed for the mental health a lot of crime has to do with mental incapacity of our population. And there's probably not enough which is a problem. We don't have enough facilities, treatment, intervention, counseling, psychiatrists, psychologists in the black community. I'm telling you, in the black community, we are way under dealt with in terms about mental problems. Just amazing. So 70% of our jail remain black. Our jail is always 70% high black. So when you're talking about population, who gets arrested, who gets detained, who don't have private lawyers, but depending on the public defender, who's acting like a public pretender. There's a difference between a public defender and a public pretender. And I am not happy, certain that what we have right now is a public defender for people who get on the wrong side of the law and need somebody to be their advocate. We need a public defender who goes out there, meets these clients, these people know what charges are against them, and somehow are told and help to understand what they're up against by these lawyers. But much too often, and I know COVID is a factor as well, that these attorneys are not getting out into the jail, or want to get out into the jail. I kind of understand that. But we do have virtual means by which lawyers talk with detainees behind for detention. There's not enough contact, and I'm very disappointed. So we're not going to have a law. Ain't going to allow no mess like that. Go down. Majority of people going to get arrested. Going to be black and men. And whether our president wants is interested in defending black men, it seems like they're not. But we're going to put a timeout and a hold up right now. Hold up. That's where we are. Hold up.
Wow. You know, one of the things that I think is so important is that when it comes to what we see that we're facing, that we really at this juncture in the state that our city, our state, our nation is, we really find a way to have some cohesiveness as we work to make our communities better. And as we take lead from those, as you just gave kudos to our sheriff, who is very sensitive to the needs of people. And he also understands the law that he's operating in. When we can take our lead from those who are sitting and who are walking in the shoes day by day, I think we create a better solutions to deal with the problems that we face. And I'm a firm believer that everyone shouldn't be arrested. There are programs that we should have in place that provides the kind of supervision that can give people that option and free up some of the space that is causing taxpayers to have to make the payments for. So certainly I want to thank you for just sharing with us today. And on another note, also, someone just said, what's going on with the residents of the mobile home on Roberts Avenue? Someone just posted that in the chat. And I understand that they were given ample notice about what was going to take place in that residential part.
Well, I appreciate that question in the chat room, and issue of notice and attitude is not really get to the core. The core is not timeliness of notice, but fairness.
Mm-hmm.
Throw them out. It's a fair issue. It's a humanity issue. It's a humaneness issue. And it appears that it was inhumane to go up on people's rent. It's inhumane to just throw them out, in the dead of winter. It's just inhumane to make impossible people's grasp on housing. Here again, how many of those people can find housing toppable, with the price that they can't afford.
Right.
Not to create more homelessness, and the unaffordability of housing just made even higher. With that landlord. At some point, I mean, everybody don't live with your heart on the sleeve, but at some point, you just can't go up on people's cost of living, like housing, that far exceeds their income. People ain't got no raises. I mean, this Tallahassee, we're not known for raises. Our high income. So if people getting a 3% raise and a 40% rise in their home cost in their rent, that's incongruent. That ain't gonna work. So that's what has happened. You're pushing people. The song said, "Don't push me. I'm close to that edge. I'm about to lose my head." It's like a jungle sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wrong station, Reverend. I'm sorry.
But all of our listeners are aware of that. As a matter of fact, that was one of the narratives that we had to kind of live by when we were walking through the halls of the penitentiary. Don't you push me, because I'm on the edge. So we understand that, and I think that we're living in times, Commissioner Proctor, where people are very insensitive now of the needs of others. I know there are laws. I know that there are things that we must find ourselves operating in to govern ourselves, but there's a lot of incidents. People are very just have no sympathy. No, I mean, I can't explain to see a man say to the media and to the residents, I want you all off the property. I mean, it.
What I did do is that I did check with Leon County Attorney, checked into Chastity Osteen for a review of the situation, asked her to make sure, find if there's any room measured for intervention by Leon County to put some sort of injunction on this landlord's approach to this place in the city. And legally, Ms. Osteen said that there was absolutely no legal grounds for which the county commission had. So I understand that attorneys have been involved. They're treating, this as a private matter, which the county was not the landlord. The county does not own the property. The county has no legal agreement with citizens of the county. We don't have the county tenant board or a tenant union, like the basement office of the tenant association for Washington, D.C., New York, and they have leadership, they have a union, and their rules that go up so much per year. It's all those kind of rules.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do the kind of thing that protects our tenants here in Tallahassee. Even to argue for the price of utilities, how much utilities can go up per year. There's no cap on things. And when you see that kind of price gouging of the landlord do something that's critical, and it speaks to what you just said, sensitivity. But I challenge our churches to be those great podiums, continue to remind our parishioners that we are brothers, those tenants like love one another as I have loved you. Raise the question, am I my brother?
Mm-hmm.
Love your neighbor as I have loved you. I mean, this call for love and this call for us to continue to see one another's humanity, respect each other's struggle to survive and to be able to have dignity in life with a house, with food, with clothes, basic things that are needed for human dignity. That's the stuff that I think we
Mm-hmm.
We have that model of what Dr. Martin King said, the last healing. And we recognize that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice
Everywhere.
and when we allow and we are comfortable with those senators being passed out and being overcharged, suddenly being forced to leave, because we remain silent and we're comfortable in our neighborhood, it's just a matter of time and you let them become a standard. That injustice right there can be a threat to justice. Your neighborhood, concern, trust, these other major things here to jack up to go all wild and start changing the terms. And this more specifically will change one summer. We are not standing up. In other words, well, that our voice is heard of the person who are not our, who are not counterparts. I would know that, I would know that, they don't expect me, but it's principle that we allow to
Mm-hmm.
get established. And if we let that principle catch root, it'll spread. Eventually, it'll catch up to your nice place with the bank people that dealing with you on a deal that harsh. I think that she was noticed about forgiveness. Like that guy, he said, did that man let you go? Now you gonna go down the street. That man let you go for a whole lot of money. Now you gonna go down the street and demand that this man gives you your money now.
Right,
Right?
right.
You're not showing the same compassion that was just
Shown
shown
to you.
moments ago.
Absolutely.
These are the things that you're talking about, and in our Christian, embodiment of what we say we believe in value. Those are the things, the ways in which we act. Our belief as Christians, and my belief as a Christian, do all that I can to help my brother, help my sister. And we start doing that. King said that the church becomes a irrelevant social all you tell you can for if you don't use our voice to become a irrelevant social.
Wow. Well, certainly we want to take time to say thank you so much, Commissioner Chairperson for the Leon County Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Bill Proctor. Thank you so much for your voice. Thank you so much for being on the forefront of fighting for the many injustices that we see in and around our community, our state, and even our nation. And certainly we are appreciative to you for the work that you have done, the work that you're doing, and now you're serving in a very I want to say a very historical time as the pandemic is we're in it. You're serving as the chair for our county. So it's a God ordained moment, and when God ordained moments come, there comes great responsibility with those moments. So we want to thank you so much for keeping your shoulders to the plow and driving the agenda of making life better for those who are members of Leon County and the city of Tallahassee.
Thank you so much, Pastor James. I've enjoyed. I hope that you let me come back sometime to talk about the problems voting in the South Side and which are gerrymandered just about annexed to the city. Serious problems that lots of black folks in the South Side, still home. People live in the urban areas, but they are without access to it. More importantly, they're without access to the right to vote. Election. That talks about voting. A lot going on in our nation. Last week, our Senate was unable to come to
Absolutely.
conclusion about the right to vote. In many cases, all of these anti-voting measures are not large and they and fully qualified to vote. We're restricting and making all of the tools of vote eligible to vote, which means democracy is drying up on the line. And I would love to come back to have you have that with you might want to
Mhm.
But you said that I missed about 201. I think on your show, information very, very 5% of all utilities that pay for transport to the general population budget pays for research that we cannot get, pay for sidewalks that all of this we don't, pay for any other things that come in the urban area. We're paying money, drive children, not get the service first. We're not able to vote for the set the rate of the utility, charges by light bill, by our water bill. We can't vote for the commission, and they can set rates on us. In other words, we're taxed. We have no more representation.
Well, listen, look forward to me making sure that we get back with you to bring you back and invite someone from the city to have that conversation, because this is an informative show and it's called Wake Up Wednesday. And our whole goal is to wake people up. County Commissioner Chairperson Bill Proctor, I want to thank you so much once again, sir, for all that you do. And we're looking forward to another great conversation. Keep it locked right here, 95.3 FM. Hallelujah. Listen, I'm sure that you were inspired, informed, and I'm sure you got insight on what's happening now with homeless. Don't go nowhere. Let this song bless you, and I will be right back. That was Leon County Chairperson Commissioner Bill Proctor. Certainly want to thank him for giving us insight, updates, and information on the ordinance that was voted upon last evening, as well as giving us insight on what's going on with our Leon County Jail. Want to give a big shout out to our sheriff for his untireless work and his wisdom and his insight on how to manage some of the matters that are facing us, not just matters that involve those who are committing crimes, but matters that involve just the lives of everyday people. And I always say that he wears two hats. Not only is he the sheriff of Leon County, but I think he's the bishop of the county as well, because he's certainly a man after God's own heart. And he has a heart to make sure that we are doing the right thing at all times. Listen, this is what I want to do as I get ready to wrap up this broadcast. I want to give you a little excerpts from a sermon I did on last Sunday. I want you to tune in because I think this is an hour where we've got to learn the power of decreeing and declaring. Job said, decree a thing and it shall be established. So I want you to be blessed. I want you to take these words that you're going to hear with the remaining time, and I want it to really kind of like marinate in your spirit. Those of you who are on Facebook, I want you to go ahead on now to 95.3 FM on your radio, because I'm getting ready to exit the Facebook page, and we're going to be live on 95.3 FM. Excerpts from the sermon. If I can just touch the hem of his garment, I know I'll be made whole. Sharon says to him, you don't have to come to my house. Speak the word. While the Lord was touching him, the news was coming Woman was healed. Jairus' daughter was brought back to life. Why? Because the word has, I don't know who that is, but I know somebody needs it. Why? Because God impressed it upon my spirit to release it today. That thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be our attention. And light shine. I paid $6,000. Listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm about to say. I'm about to say this to 6 people. I'm about to say this to 6 people who are in a situation. Listen to what I'm about to say. Where you feel like it's not going to work in your favor. I want to say to you, find the words of God. They are life. Let your mouth begin to release those words, 6 of you, and let those words begin to create movement on that situation. Hallelujah. And watch what God does. Look what is going to happen, because you are not going to wait until it happens to declare victory. You're going to declare victory before it happens, because David teaches us when we can decree and declare, we do it with courage and confidence. We do it with courage and confidence. Conquer whatever it is within us. Conquer it by faith, not with faith. Hallelujah. That's right, you gotta speak to it. All right, you gotta speak to it. I don't know who needed this word today. I decree and declare this word. Change. There's several of you all who need this today. I just need you to shout right where you are. I need this. And when you shout that, I need this. I needed this. The weight is going to be released. When you declare, I needed this, the weight is going to be released. The weight is going to be released. The weight, Teresa, is being released. This is what I'm about to say. The weight is being released. Chelsea, the weight is being released. How? The weight is being released. Allison, the weight is being released. Cedric, the weight. Ruben, the weight is being released. Robin, the weight is being released. Why? Because you got to know that movement is in your mouth. You got the power to decree and to declare. But you got to believe that when I release it, God's going to perform. Pamela is being released. Latasha is being released. Glory to God. Hallelujah. It's being released. David teaches us, no matter what the situation is, you got a track record with God. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. David decreed and declared what he was going to do even before he did it. And he had the courage. Hallelujah. Well, God bless you. Those of you who are on Facebook, I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that this is a season, this is an hour where you just got to go ahead and decree a thing and declare that God's going to do just what he said. Listen, I want you to pray for me. I'm going to be praying for you. And I just believe that miracles are happening day by day. And God is getting ready to cause us to walk into a wealthy place. God bless you. I love you. And keep praying for me. And I'm going to keep praying for you.